Look, we all love a good getaway, right? Browsing Airbnb, finding that perfect secluded spot to decompress. But sometimes the superhost isn't the only one with the keys. Today, I'm bringing you 3 stories that will make you triple-check the locks and maybe just stay at a Hilton next time. These aren't your typical ghost stories. These are real-life monsters. Let's dive in. So Chloe's a total city girl. She travels a ton for work, Italy, Greece, the whole 9. But this time she's in the Adirondacks for a gig. Usually her company covers a hotel, but she wanted to find herself or whatever in the mountains. She finds this sick A-frame tucked deep in the woods. Saturday morning. She goes for a jog on the trails surrounding the house. You know that horrible feeling when the hair on your neck just stands up, like someone's eyes are burning holes in your back. She had that the entire time. She tried to blame it on city girl anxiety, telling herself the woods were just messing with her head. It's wild how we try to gaslight our own survival instincts, isn't it? That night, she gets back late from a work dinner. She's restless. The house is making those classic wooden cabin creaks, and her nerves are shot. She checks the locks 3 times, literal OCD style, but she still can't sleep. Around midnight, she decides to head downstairs for a smoke to calm down. She hits the bottom of the stairs, looks into the dark kitchen, and her heart dead ass stops. There's a shadow. Not a maybe it's a coat rack shadow, a human shadow blocking the moonlight. She freezes. Her stomach turns into a straight-up cyclone. She flips the light, and what she sees is burned into her brain forever. Standing there, clear as day, is a man. He's like 6 feet tall, shaggy hair, thick beard, looking like he hasn't seen a shower in a month. They stare at each other for 10 seconds, which feels like an eternity, before he just lunges at her in a full-on sprint. Chloe hauls it back to her room, locks the door, and dives into the closet to call 911. The guy starts hammering the door. He's screaming that he loves her. "I've changed, baby. I need you back." Chloe is losing it, screaming back that she doesn't even know him. Just as he punches his whole arm through the wood of the door, sirens cut through the air. The cops tackled him just as he was about to break in. Here's the sick part. The guy was the property owner's ex-fiancée. He'd gone off the grid after a bad breakup and had been living in the house's closet for days. They found his nest with beer cans and snacks. He had a kitchen knife tucked in his belt. If Chloe hadn't gotten up for that smoke, she would have been a sitting duck in that bed. Next up, we got Marcus. He was in town for a high-stakes job interview, and his fiancée booked him a suburban rental so he could prep in peace. The owner seemed chill, even gave him an early check-in. Marcus spent the night second-guessing his interview answers and watching movies on a massive surround sound system. Low-key, he was already on edge because sleeping in a stranger's bed is always a little nid. Around 11:30 p.m., Marcus is drifting off on the couch when ding-dong, the doorbell. He ignores it, thinking he's dreaming. Then it rings again and again. He creeps to the window and sees a skinny dude holding a small brown paper bag. Marcus opens the door, keeping the screen locked, and the guy, in this totally dead, monotone voice, says, "I got your pizza." Marcus is like, "Bro, I didn't order a pizza, and that's a paper bag." The guy just stands there, staring at the ground, repeating the address. He starts reaching for the screen door handle, trying to get in. Marcus slams the door and watches from the window as the guy walks back to a beat-up red sedan with a busted headlight. But the car doesn't leave. It just sits there, idling in the driveway with the high beams blasting into the living room. Marcus gets fed up. He decides to go out there and tell the dude to kick rocks. He marches out to the car, heart pounding, ready for a confrontation. He gets to the window and the car is empty. The engine is purring, the lights are on, but nobody's inside. He noped right back into the house and locked every single latch. Marcus gets fed up. He decides to go out there and tell the dude to kick rocks. He marches out to the car, heart pounding, ready for a confrontation. He gets to the window and the car is empty. The engine is purring, the lights are on, but nobody's inside. He noped right back into the house and locked every single latch. Driving away, he sees it. At the end of the block, in the driveway of a rotting greenhouse, sits that same red sedan. The owner of the rental never messaged him back after Marcus told him what happened. People think it was a setup. Marcus thinks he's lucky he's still alive to tell the story. Last one. The Miller family, David, his wife, and their 2 kids rented a beach house for a summer vibe. It was at the end of a dead-end street, super private, backed up against a creek. The first day was perfect, but the next morning, their 8-year-old son, Toby, looked like he'd seen a ghost. Toby claimed he saw shadows in the backyard waving at him from the tree line. David gave him the classic "ghosts aren't real" speech, but that night Toby came crawling into their room, shaking. He said a ghost tapped on his window and told him if he screamed, he'd hurt the whole family. The ghost told the kid to open the back door. David thought it was just a nightmare until the next night. The whole family was having a camp out in the living room when Toby woke him up at 2:30 a.m. "Dad, they're back." David looked at the sliding glass door. 3 dudes, all in black, wearing these freakish masks with bulging white eyes like golf balls. They were trying the handle. When they saw David, they didn't run. They taunted him. One guy pulled out a knife and just started waving it, mocking them, while the kids were screaming for their lives. The daughter hit 911. David grabbed a heavy walking stick, ready to go down swinging. Suddenly, out of the darkness, the police swarmed. They tackled the guys right on the lawn. They weren't ghosts. They were a group of local punks who specialized in targeting tourist families, thinking they'd be easy marks for a robbery. All 3 of them were armed with knives. The cops acted acted like it was just another Tuesday, but the Millers, they haven't been back to a beach town since. Sometimes the mental spars are way deeper than the physical ones. Imagine just trying to have a vacation and ending up in a horror movie. Stay safe out there, and for the love of everything, lock your doors, check the closets, check the driveways, and never trust a pizza guy with a paper bag. See you in the next one.